All right, I'm Larry. I am 16 years old, and I'm going to share my testimony of how I got to Epic and how God has used that to change who I am now. So, me and my siblings growing up, our mom and dad wasn't really in the picture. It was more of our grandpa and grandma, so they took us into the home and they adopted us and they raised us as their children, and they just poured their love out on us, and they've always been so caring toward us, and it's just amazing how they just brought us in to take care of us. And I say that word too much. So before I got to Epic, I was going to Barry School and Yuba City High School. And when I was in Barry, I was just a wild kid. I was always hanging out with wannabe gangsters, and we did really dumb things. We would trash the bathroom up and everything. We would just ruin a teacher's day and stuff like that. So whenever I got to Yuba City High School, I played football, and that was what I did to hide the way that I felt. And that was how I hid all of my emotions. And after about 2 months of being at YC, it just got harder and harder, and it was a really dark time. I was the class clown. All I did was just sit around in class, make jokes, go play football, come home, sit down in bed, and I would just sometimes cry myself to sleep. And I didn't tell anybody how I felt or anything. And after those 2 months, I didn't know it was God at the time, but He really came to me, and He put this weight on me, and He asked me to switch schools. And I called my Aunt Rachel that night. I was talking to her on the phone. And she said I can come in the next day. So I went to school the next day, and the first thing I did was I went to Ms. Vicky's office, and it was like the school was just open arms. Everybody was loving, and you could just really feel God, and it was so real. And I just never felt this kind of love before. So I just wanted more and more, and I began to stay after school every Thursday and just wait for youth group to start. And one night during youth group in December, one of the leaders, Caleb Anaya, he came and I prayed for me. I was just sitting down over there against the back wall. I didn't really want anything to do with the worship that they were doing or anything. I just wanted to do my own thing. So I just sat back there, and he came up and he was like, God really put it on me to pray for you. Can I pray for you? And he started praying for me. And I just felt everything come off. I felt God's love for the first time. And and after that, I went to school the next day, and Miss Katrina, who's one of the teachers, she looked at me. And she said, I see this light around you. Can I give you a hug? And then she gave me a hug. And I don't know, there's so much about it. Like, it's just so real. God is just so real. And another time that Miss Katrina did something for me, I was just like, it was, I already shared this before, but one night during youth group, I just decided to walk out, and I walked all the way to the railroad tracks, and then Ben, who's one of the leaders, he called me and he asked me where I was, and I told him, and he came and he got me, and he was talking to me, and he sat down outside with me for like 30 minutes. And then Isaac, who was supposed to be playing the piano, I guess God put it on him or something to just wait for me to come in or something, because right when I walked in, he just wrapped me in his arms and he gave me a big hug and he just started praying for me. And it was just, God was just pouring his love out on me, and it was just beautiful. And ever since I started going to Epic, I just really began to press into God. And the more and more I do that, the better life has become. It is no longer empty, and life is full of good things now.